As we know, the RCMP only attract the finest and the toughest and the most robust individuals in the country. And as such, so what? So they bungled and botched an operation so badly that it cost the lives of 24 people in Nova Scotia. They mag dumped into a building, and they ignored complaints that this maniac had police cars and uniforms and illegal guns for years and years, because he was probably selling drugs or something for them, and he had $500,000 in an account that he took out and was going somewhere, and all these questions remain unanswered, and blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't mean they should have to answer these questions. They're human beings. Hasn't them letting your loved ones die punishment enough, and you want them to testify at their inquiry? What kind of monster are you? The RCMP union argues officers should not be made to testify at the Nova Scotia shooting inquiry, as they shouldn't. They're heroes. Officers who responded to the shooting spree, did they respond, or were they busy fucking around and destroying evidence and whatnot as this maniac went on a rampage? And did he? No one really knows what happened yet, still, do we? Isn't that wild? Isn't that crazy? The most worst mass murder in history, and we have no fucking idea what happened. We don't have a motive. We don't even have a motive. It's been 2 years. Isn't that weird? Imagine these guys should have to testify. That's just cruel and unusual. Horrible. Horrible. What's the, you can't stand the heat, don't be in the kitchen, play games, win prizes. Don't be a cop then. How's that? You don't get to just, fuck your job up that badly and have this many people suffer as a result of it and just walk the fuck away and say, well, I'm suffering, I have trauma. What about all the people that lost their families and have no answers to why? Whatsoever. The reason that you supposedly have this job as a fucking police officer in the first place is because you're supposed to be an exceptional person. You're supposed to be stronger, smarter, tougher, more capable than the average person so that you can do these kinds of things and then follow up, in the aftermath and report on what happened. And weather the storm and shoulder the load, as it were, for the herd, for the rest of the people that you're protecting. But you can't do that. Why? Because you're a fucking coward. Because you're weak and you're a goddamn liar. That's why. Because you're not doing it for the right reasons. You're a goddamn criminal and you're a gangster. That entire organization needs to be shredded, burned, destroyed, and fired into the goddamn sun. Ashes. Goodbye. Bye. Bye-bye. That's where that whole thing needs to go. How many more of these traumatic, horrendous nightmares, scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal, do they need to be involved in before someone goes, all right, that's enough, that's enough. That is enough. Trampling people with horses, beating them with batons, shooting them with rubber bullets, tear gassing people, trampling women and innocent people in the street, and they laughed about it. They laughed about it. Those leaked screenshots you never heard about of that group chat? I released those. It was me. Tell them it was me. I loved it and I'll do it again. Because I know people inside and you don't know who it is. Rather than doing the adult thing, the grown-up thing, the professional thing. You see, what I would do if it was me and this was a military unit I was in command of and I found out that some of my soldiers were doing, raping people or beating civilians or whatever, I would not use all of my resources to cover that up, collude with the media and hide the fact, even if it's on video, and pretend it never happened. Because you know what that does? It destroys trust in the professional institution. The Canadian people see me, see my unit, see our regiment, maybe the entire army as something as less of what it should be. Kind of like the Somalia problem. When you don't hold your own men to account, when you don't hold them to the same professional standard, you don't hold yourself and everyone to the same standard, and someone breaches that standard, and you don't address that, you don't deal with that, you don't punish, and much more than you would a normal person, people lose trust in the institution, and it reflects poorly on everyone else, everyone wearing the uniform, because people don't remember any of these people's names. They just remember that yellow stripe on your fucking leg. And they remember what it means. It means liar. It means thug. It means criminal. It means maybe I'll get shot with one of your fucking clowns that doesn't know how to operate a rifle. Maybe I'll get butt stroked in the head, maybe I'll get muzzle ended in the goddamn dome with a round in the chamber and a mag attached. Was the safety even on? I doubt it. I doubt it, knowing these people. But don't ask them to testify in their own inquiry because they're just too frail. They're too fragile, you see. They've suffered enough. We can arm them with C8 carbines and 300 rounds of ammunition and, high-cut mic helmets and all kinds of tactical gear and plates and body armor and pistol belts and sidearms and extra mags and stun grenades and, all of that, armored cars, drones, night vision, the whole thing. They need all of that because they're so fragile. Because people were, that happened. So we needed a fucking SWAT team. They shouldn't have to be made to testify. They should all be forced to testify. Forced. That entire organization needs to be investigated top to bottom. It's rotten from the top down. Shit rolls downhill, Brenda. Why don't you stress eat some more? If you put on enough weight, you're disgusting. You're supposed to represent our national police force. You can't even be fucking bothered to be in shape. How hard is that? I want to be responsible for tens of thousands of people. Well, let's start with one, Brenda. Can you start with one? Let's start with the one person you can be responsible for. Yourself. Why are you a fat mess? Why? You're not just some person on the street. You're the commissioner of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and you can't even be bothered to police your own body. And yet you want to police the entire country and all of the members of its police force. Gee, I wonder if the RCMP isn't quite what it used to be. It's on the minds of a lot of people these days. Wonder if that's the case. Sure, I'm just a guy yelling on the internet. Don't listen to me. What would I know? I don't know anything about professional standards. I don't know anything about accountability. I only carried a fucking machine gun around a war zone. I was barely out of my teenage years. You know how many people I shot I wasn't supposed to? Fucking zero. You know how many mag dump buildings I mag dumped into? 0 times. You know how many people I beat down with weapons and civilians I roughed up for no reason? 0. That many. It was only a war. It was only a war. I'm sorry. It was only a war. It wasn't something super scary like truck drivers and bouncy castles. Sorry. It wasn't something super fucking scary. You wouldn't know anything about chasing a 56-year-old denturist around Colchester County. Oh, no. Is there an old man with a rifle? I wish. That would have been the easiest day we had. Come back to me when your warning order, your frag order is we're going into a village. It's got 60 guys dug in with small arms, automatic weapons, armored anti-tank, anti-armor weapons, landmines, and IEDs. Everywhere. Snipers, the whole thing. Yeah, they're going to try and kill us all. We'll see what happens. Anyway, we'll be there in 10 minutes. Oh, and it's dark out, by the way. But Gabriel, what? It was so scary. Oh, let me cry a single tear of... Oh, no. Was he... Oh, wow. Was he really? Was he fucking really? Was he really? Oh, I don't get to make these comparisons, these criticisms? Then why the fuck are you dressed like soldiers, then? You want to dress and act like soldiers, but you don't want the responsibility and accountability and the task and purpose that comes with being a soldier, do you? You guys make me so fucking sick. So disgusting. I'm going to wait till most of the veterans clear off the memorial, and then I'm going to beat the shit out of the smallest guy. Yeah! Fuck yeah! Police! Let's go! You guys disgrace the entire... Never mind. It would take, I don't know what it would take to restore the image of the Canadian police officer now. After that display of cowardice, man. And the media covered for them. They used the video of the horses trampling the people, and they cut it right at the end, right before anything happened. They used it on the Fifth Estate to make people like me look bad. So they didn't do a very good job of. Because they're stupid. And they're old, and I think Jillian's got dementia. We need wellness checks on a lot of these people. Regardless, that's where we're really at. That should scare the shit out of you. That the state can deploy its police forces, and a lot of these guys didn't have name tags or badges or fuck all on. They removed them all. Isn't that convenient? I'm pretty sure it's illegal. I mean, they have name tags in a unit, or whatever, not regiments, but whatever. identifying patches and so on for a reason, so that you can identify them in the occurrence of, I don't know, police misconduct. We can't do that now, can we? Isn't that convenient? If that wasn't bad enough, the media, the impartial and fair media, refused to do its job. It knows those videos exist. It played part of one and cut it out on purpose. Fuck it. I will show you this text right now. Where is this asshole? I sent him the goat meme just to be a dick. But, there, here it is. You can see it. This is Ivan Angelowski from the CBC's Fifth Estate. If you have any more of those internal RCMP screenshots or anything similar, send it over. Send it over. He knows it exists. They know that they exist. Why didn't they put them in the show? They asked me if I got more. Why? So you can not cover it? So you can use it to try and find out who sent them and then punish that person, that hero, for exposing the rot of your organization to the rest of the country. Is that what you want to do? Call me the bad guy some more, you motherfucker. Oh, let's try and read through this drivel and hope I don't have a fucking aneurysm. The officers wish to be helpful. I'm sure they do. In fact, they wish so much to be helpful that they may be willing to extend themselves beyond what's appropriate for their own wellness. Oh, their wellness? Oh, their wellness? 22 fucking people are dead. I give about your wellness, dude. Shut the fuck up and stand up there and explain yourself immediately. Immediately. If 18-year-old kids can go fight and die in wars in this country, you constable fucking big balls, you can get the fuck up there and explain yourself. Shut your goddamn mouth. You disgust me. So it would be our submission that you should not ask them to do too much. You should ask them to do what is necessary. Oh, they're so fragile. Of course, it would be best if everyone could explain in their own first-person voice what they experienced. But at what cost? At what cost? Their fifis might get hurt. I understand your mother's dead and your family is shattered forever. But what about Constable Fuckface's feelings? He might get triggered. This is insult. I feel so bad for these families, man. It's expected the Inquirer will discuss an expert report Thursday submitted by the police union that explains why officers shouldn't be made to give live testimony. Right. Maybe they'll be busy killing another Polish immigrant at an airport. Do you remember Robert Dzansky? How do you say his name? Guy didn't speak English. He got agitated. He was held in an airport for like 6, 7, 8 hours. Started freaking the fuck out because they wouldn't let him go anywhere, as any normal man would. So the police showed up, 4 of them, the RCMP, and they tasered him, they held him down, they beat him, and he died. You know who's responsible for that? No one, apparently. Apparently it was nobody's fault. Because their feelings were hurt. Their feelings were fucking hurt. Oh my God, their feelings. It's a song I frequently like to use when I get into moods like this, and it goes a little something like this. You can't handle the fucking job. Quit! It wasn't me. I wasn't there. I had nothing to do with it. I'm just doing my job. You're wearing the uniform. You're helping the machine. Why aren't you saying anything? The problem is not that Danny Bulford isn't perfect. He can't get enough done. He can't blah, blah, blah. The problem is there's not 25,000 Danny Bulfords. That's the problem.
I take from the authority, the silent majority, raised by the